I'm Hope Virgo and I am an author and mental health campaigner. I started the Dump the Scales campaign to make sure that every single person with an eating disorder can access support and treatment regardless of what their weight is. At the moment there are too many people all over the country getting turned away from services because they're not underweight. The fact is eating disorders do come in all shapes and sizes, and it's time to make sure that every single person can have access to that support.
I initially asked for help in April and my referral was declined based on my BMI.
I was turned down by eating disorder services due to my BMI being healthy.
My diagnosis wasn't straightforward. I was turned away because I'm not underweight.
2 years ago, I was diagnosed with bulimia. Not receiving support at first made me feel like a failure.
It made me feel completely invalidated and like I wasn't sick enough to deserve support, which I think had a really significant impact on how quickly I deteriorated.
I felt very angry, very annoyed, upset. Do you not believe this?
It was frustrating. I was either too well or not unwell enough.
Almost 10 years later, I have liver damage and I still have no support from eating disorder services.
By the time I reached the top of the waiting list, I was too unwell for outpatient treatment.
You can't just kind of make services into something that just pigeonhole people or exclude them based on their weight.
Dump the Scales is about making sure that people get the support they need before hitting crisis. Over the last year, Dump the Scales has gone from strength to strength. With over 100,000 signatures, it's been debated in Parliament a number of times, we've had ministerial meetings, and we've even gone to Downing Street.
My name is Marilyn Okoro and I am a two-time Olympian for Team GB. I'd battled bulimia at school. I didn't look like all the other girls who ran the 800, so instead of worrying about how fast I was going, I was often finding myself worrying about what I looked like in the mirror and what I weighed on the scales. Thankfully today I'm well away from that. I'm in a much healthier space. I am so proud to support the Dump the Scales campaign because it's so important for everyone to know that they are way more than what the numbers on the scales say.
It has been amazing to see so much support coming in for Dump the Scales, but at the same time, heartbreaking to see that more and more people every single day are denied access to services. And right now, at a time when the NHS is more stretched than ever, these people need the support. Lockdown has created the perfect storm for people affected by eating disorders, from stockpiling to exercise, to disruptions in treatment and a future where it may only become harder to access support.
I did remember the first few weeks of lockdown, people stockpiling food and feeling quite panicky when I would go to the supermarket to do my food shop, that the foods that I still consider safe were not available for me to buy.
Because I've been so isolated under lockdown, I haven't been able to see my friends and see my family, and those are the things that I rely on to be able to stay well.
Someone who has struggled with compulsive and over-exercise, having more time and also the government's guidelines on now unlimited exercise was a big trigger.
It's about enforcing guidelines, education for medical professionals, and helping to change society's understanding because eating disorders are not just about weight. Eating disorders have the highest mortality rate out of any other psychiatric disorder, and with millions of people across the whole world living with an eating disorder, the time to act is now. Please do get involved and sign the petition.